In this video, we are going to compare these two little espresso machines with another. This is the original, the Delonghi Dedica, and this one right here is the Casabrews 20 bar. Now these are both, you can see, really designed in a very similar way. As I mentioned, the Delonghi Dedica is the original, and the Casabrews came later and kind of copied the design, you could say. So they're very similar looking. Really the only difference that you can see immediately is that the Casabrews comes with a manometer, which is a nice thing. But they are both made out of stainless steel. They are both very, very slim, as you can see. Very small profiles on your kitchen counter, so that's really nice. They're both about, I think, pretty much exactly the same height even. So these are just super, super similar machines. Also, the technology inside these is very similar as well. They use a Thermoblock inside, which is kind of like an on-demand heater. It's fast to warm up and fast to make your drink. One difference I did notice is that the water tank is smaller on the Casabrews in comparison to the Dedica. You can see the Dedica's is a fair amount wider there, and that is nice. I do prefer to have a bigger water tank over a smaller one. Startup time is just about the same on both. I'm gonna turn this guy on here and the Dedica at the same time, and let's see how long they require to get ready. In the meantime, I'm gonna get some cups and get them warmed up. What I do appreciate about the Casabrews is that gives you some tips here on the side, and the tips tell you, for example, warm up your cup, warm up the machine before you pull a shot. That's going to first of all give you a hotter shot, and also it's going to extract more flavor out of the shot too, so that's really important. So what I suggest doing on both of these is warming up the Portafilter, which is this part here. It's where you put the coffee inside, and it's cold. It's noticeably cold. So we want to warm that up on both of these units. And I will say something too. Both these machines come with what is called a pressurized basket. So that means that there is just one hole on the bottom and yet a lot of holes on the inside. So these baskets are essentially what's creating the pressure of the extraction. Anyway, let's get these warmed up. The baskets inside, as well as the portafilters themselves on both of these machines. We should also just listen and see how loud is each one. They're both placed about the same distance away from the microphone. I find this one does vibrate more. You can see the cup kind of moving there. But that's going to be nice and helpful, get everything nice and warmed up. Great. Same thing here on the Dedica. I think you can hear they sound pretty much exactly the same. Okay, great. Now we got the baskets warmed up, we got the portafilters warmed up, we got our cups nice and warmed up as well, and now I would say we can make ourselves an espresso. Alright, so both of these machines again have the pressurized baskets, which means that they are made for pre-ground espresso. It is much more forgiving. It doesn't matter so much how fresh the beans are. The grind doesn't matter as much either. It just shouldn't be too fine. And what I try to do is put in, I don't know, I fill it up and try to get about 13 grams or so in there, 13 and a half. And that's about half an ounce, and that is going to fill up the double basket. Both of these come with a little scoop that looks like this, and it's got a tamp on the other side. And so that right there is what it looks like. So we're going to stick this guy in there and do the same thing for the Dedica. Okay, I got the same amount in both, 13.7 grams. And just try to tamp as straight down as you can. That's going to help the extraction. So that's what that puck looks like. You can see that the Casabrews actually does have a little bit more cup clearance than does the Dedica, so that's kind of nice. I could maybe even fit a scale underneath there, and look at that, I can. So that's one advantage for the Casabrews. There's a little more space there for your cups. Let's go. They both have pre-infusion. Okay, you can see that on the Casabrews it vibrates quite a bit. It kind of vibrated my scale off there. So they also both drip because they don't have anything to cut off the pressure afterwards. So you do also have to wait on both of these about a minute before you remove the portafilter. That is the shot from the Casabrews, and that is the one from the Dedica. I'm gonna try the Casabrews first. Pretty chocolatey, pretty sweet. And now the Delonghi. Somehow the Delonghi tastes a little bit more refined to me. Also chocolatey and sweet, maybe a little bit more balance in there. And it does taste just a little bit hotter. All right, it looks like the Casabrews is about 65 degrees Celsius. And on the Dedica, yeah, look at that, 67. I do have the Dedica on high heat. There's the settings low, medium, and high. And so you can get your espresso a little hotter on the Dedica compared to the Casabrews, which does not have any settings for temperature. Next, let's make a cappuccino with both of these. Now there is a slight advantage with the Casabrews in regards to milk steaming. If you look at the Dedica, it's just got this panarello here, so you don't have really any control over what's going on here. This right here has got an aeration device inside, and that will help you to get more bubbles in your milk, but it's not going to make it very smooth. This one, on the other hand, has got a proper steam wand on it, and therefore, with some practice, you can get some really nice, silky, creamy milk. So an advantage to that, and we're going to see that in just a moment. I'm going to start here with the Dedica, and to prepare our cappuccino, I'm just going to dump out the water. Cup is nice and hot. I'm going to put our espresso inside, and now I'm going to move to steam mode. Takes about 10 seconds to get up to temperature. Now I'm going to purge the steam wand. And now it should be drier. Alright, so when I am using the panarello to steam the milk, it's able to add air, no problem. And it gets it hot, but I really cannot get the milk circling, and that's what you want to kind of get the bubbles integrated into the milk. That's just kind of the thing with panarellos. Okay, that's quite hot. They're also a bit more of a pain to clean. You have to remove this thing each time because it gets milk inside. I would suggest cleaning that after each use. Anyway, the milk didn't turn out too bad. Actually better than I was expecting. Pretty creamy. I put it off to the side, trying to get a little bit of a circle, and if you swirl this a bit afterwards, it doesn't look too bad. All right, let's just pour that in our drink, and there we go. That's our cappuccino made with the Delonghi Dedica. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with the Casabrews. So, gotta press this button to go into steam mode, then I'm gonna purge it out a little bit. And now I can start steaming. So this one, you have direct control over where you put the steam into the milk. So that way you can add milk and get it to circle really nicely at the top to end up with a more creamy kind of texture. It's already getting pretty hot. So that has given me certainly a better texture, and that's pretty much just what you want if you're going to try to practice latte art, and just if you simply want a nice tasty drink with a really good creamy texture, that is essentially what you want with the milk there. But I do have quite some frothy crema on top. We'll have to see if that works or not. Okay, so the main problem here is that really thick fake crema, and because it's so thick, it's really hard to mix with the milk and then pierce through for the design. Yeah, it's kind of tough. So the milk is certainly better with the Casabrews. However, with the fake kind of crema made with those pressurized baskets, it's not that easy to get latte art. All right, so there we go. The original, the Delonghi Dedica versus the Casabrews. One more thing that I should mention is after you have used these for steaming, you gotta cool them both down simply by opening up the steam wand on the side. That is gonna run some hot water through and cool down the Thermoblock. Actually, in the Casabrews, you also have to deselect the steam mode, like so, and then let the water through. So in the end, what do I think about these two machines? How do they compare to one another? Well, I like the Delonghi Dedica because it's the original. It's been around a long time. You can get spare parts easily for it. Everybody knows about this machine, and there's a lot of forum entries that you can read up on, and yeah, just extra third-party parts. The Casabrews is the new kid on the block. There's not a whole lot of information yet on it, but I have to admit that what's nice about it is that it comes with a better steam wand. It makes for a creamier drink. Comes with a manometer on there as well. Hope that this video is helpful, and until next time, happy coffee drinking and happy espresso drinking. Bye now.